What is a myth? Is it a story told by ancient people to explain natural phenomena? A tale of young heroes fighting and outwitting strange, monstrous creatures? Is a myth simply plain superstition concocted by our ignorant ancestors? No, I believe a myth is none of these, and here I offer you my own definition. A myth is the dramatic representation of a way of being. A myth, you see, is not merely a story, but an expression of a proposed way of life. These stories, beneath their layers of symbolism, offer a map or blueprint detailing how we should approach the inevitable challenges and difficulties of human life. In short, a myth tells you how to live. It then comes as no shock that the Greek word for myth, mythos, can be translated as word of advice. What do I mean when I say dramatic? A drama implies action, that is, action taken by the characters. The reason why the lessons of a myth are acted out, rather than bluntly stated to the audience, may not be obvious at first, so I will explain it as best as I can. Humans have been acting for far longer than we've been speaking. When I say acting, I don't mean acting in a play, I mean taking action. Far before we were able to speak, we acted. We formed hunting parties, built shelters, and protected our young. We did things before we were able to describe what we were doing. This is still the case today for us modern humans. For example, how often do we do something out of principle? How often do we do something because we feel compelled by a force within us? Why, for example, do we find some people attractive and others not? Why do we show distaste for some foods and not others? As a more extreme example, why do some people, despite having every reason to be happy, wake up one day feeling anxious and depressed? My point here is that we often have behaviors and emotions that we cannot clearly rationalize in words. A myth seeks to shed light on this mysterious side of our minds, the underside of the Freudian iceberg, far beneath the water. A myth attempts to describe the feelings that we cannot put into words. Now, when I say representation, I am referring to symbols and their presence within a myth. A symbol is the representation of a concept or idea too difficult to express in words. An example of a symbol most people may recognize is the red and blue pill from the Matrix. The pills are perhaps the most memorable aspect of the Matrix, and everyone who watches this film knows the pills represent far more than two different colored capsules, yet they often cannot express why they seem so significant. To offer a brief explanation, the pills represent two different ways of living, one which confronts a difficult truth, the other which resides in a temporarily comfortable lie. Neo's act of choosing and swallowing the pill represents both a commitment, because you cannot unswallow a pill, at least not without great difficulty, and growth, because just as a pill provides nutrients to a body to facilitate physical growth, acceptance of the truth results in the growth of our souls. Finally, there is the way of being that every myth puts forth. With the use of drama and symbols, every myth proposes a way to live one's life. It is best thought of as a philosophy or attitude towards the adversities of life. For example, take the classical Greek myth of Perseus and Medusa. Medusa is traditionally described as a hideous woman with snakes instead of hair and whose gaze paralyzed people and turned them to stone. Medusa is a symbol, with the female aspect representing nature, the snakes, cold-blooded indifference, and the transformative gaze being the paralysis of anxiety. Medusa therefore represents, in totality, the terrifying aspects of nature that fill us all with worry and anxiety. She is discomfort, disease, depression, and death we must all inevitably face. Perseus then slays Medusa and uses her severed head as a weapon to assist him in future trials. The way of being presented by the hero Perseus is that of life affirmation. Perseus confronts the creature, which makes us all shudder, and after an intense battle, he declares yes to life despite its pain and imperfection. For life affirmation is not something casually achieved, but something only a hero can do. Afterward, Perseus takes Medusa's head as a weapon, representing the growth inherent in life affirmation. Upon accepting the heavy burden of life, the hero also grows strong enough to carry that burden. As we can see, a myth has the profound capacity to reveal hidden truths about life's greatest questions. It is for this reason that many mythological tales, despite being thousands of years old, refuse to be forgotten. They captivate our imaginations and, beneath a veil of symbolism, offer glimpses into what it means to live a truly meaningful life. On this channel, I hope to offer interpretations of not just classical myths, but also books, movies, and even video games, in order to help interested viewers in their heroic journey of spiritual and psychic growth. Thank you for watching.